Imagine waking up to sirens blaring at your door at the crack of dawn, only to find 3 cops treating you like a criminal for grilling burgers in your own backyard. That's exactly what happened to me, Alex Rivera, when the neighborhood HOA queen decided my harmless family gathering violated her sacred community standards. Little did she know, her power trip was about to unravel into a web of lies, fraud, and felony charges that would leave her clipboard empire in ruins. I moved to Willow Creek Estates in suburban Ohio 3 years ago, seeking a quiet life after a nasty divorce that left me branded as the deadbeat dad in local gossip circles. The rumors started small. Whispers that I'd skipped out on child support, that I was some shady character hiding from debts, but they snowballed thanks to anonymous posts on the neighborhood app. I kept my head down, focusing on my remote IT job, tending my modest half-acre lot with its cozy fire pit and vegetable garden. The place was my sanctuary. Fresh-cut grass smelling like summer freedom, birds chirping without a care, and no drama beyond the occasional squirrel raid. But in Willow Creek, peace came with strings attached. The HOA ruled by Vivian Hargrove, a 50-something former real estate agent who turned her volunteer presidency into a full-time dictatorship. Vivian showed up unannounced one crisp autumn morning, her sensible pumps clicking on my driveway like tiny judgments. She was the picture of suburban authority. Perfectly coiffed bob haircut, a blazer over khakis, and that infamous clipboard loaded with color-coded violation forms. "Mr. Rivera," she cooed, her voice laced with that fake politeness that masks pure venom. "We've had reports of unauthorized gatherings on your property. Our covenants clearly state no open flames without prior approval. It's for the safety of the community, you understand." I stared at her, coffee mug in hand, the steam curling up like my rising irritation. "It's just a small fire pit, Vivian. Been here since I bought the place. No one's complaining except, well, you." Her smile tightened, eyes narrowing behind designer glasses. "Community standards aren't optional, Alex. Think of the children. I'll expect compliance by week's end, or fines will apply." As she sauntered off, clipboard flapping like a victory flag, I felt the first twinge of unease. Little did I know, this was her opening salvo in a war over nothing more than my right to enjoy my own damn yard. The whispers turned to outright slander soon after. On the Willow Creek Facebook group, posts popped up accusing me of hosting rowdy parties that endanger kids and ignoring basic decency. I knew Vivian was behind it. Her husband, Greg, worked in the county assessor's office, giving her insider leverage to dig up dirt. But I stayed silent, documenting every post, every veiled threat. Patience was my weapon. I'd learned from my divorce that exploding early just feeds the beast. Instead, I hit the county records office, poring over deeds and HOA bylaws with a clerk named Martha, who rolled her eyes at Vivian's name. "That woman's filed more complaints than I've had hot dinners," Martha muttered, sliding over files that showed zero restrictions on personal fire pits. Armed with facts, I politely emailed the HOA board, attaching the docs. "Let's clear this up amicably," I wrote. Vivian's reply was a masterpiece of passive aggression. "Your interpretation is noted, but the board upholds traditions for the greater good." Things escalated when I decided to test the waters. Literally. I'd installed a small above-ground pool for my visiting kids. Nothing fancy, just enough for splashes and laughs. The next weekend, as laughter echoed from my yard, Vivian materialized like a bad omen, flanked by 2 board members looking uncomfortable in their polo shirts. "This pool violates setback rules," she declared, pen scribbling furiously on her clipboard. "It's an eyesore and a hazard. Remove it immediately." I crossed my arms, keeping my tone even. "Vivian, the rules say pools under 500 gallons are fine. This one's 400. Checked it twice." She huffed, her face flushing with that mix of rage and righteousness. "Rules evolve with community needs, Mr. Rivera. We're preserving property values here, not turning this into a trailer park." The board members shifted awkwardly, one mumbling, "Maybe we can vote on it?" But Vivian shot him down. "The president decides emergencies." As they left, I overheard her whisper, He's the type who thinks laws don't apply to him. That night, the Facebook group lit up with photos of my pool, captioned, "Is this what we want in Willow Creek?" Sloppy standards from sloppy people. Comments poured in. What about the kid's safety? Heard he's got a sketchy past. Divorce drama? I screenshot everything, my blood boiling but my plan forming. If she wanted a fight, I'd give her one with paper trails, not punches. By week 2, Vivian amped up the absurdity. A certified letter arrived, demanding I cease all non-conforming recreational activities, or face liens. It cited some obscure clause about harmonious aesthetics, which basically meant anything Vivian didn't like was outlawed. I laughed bitterly, dark humor kicking in as I imagined her measuring my grass blades with a ruler. But laughter faded when inspectors showed up, tipped off by her complaints. The zoning guy, a tired soul named Hank, inspected my yard while I watched from the porch. Fire pits fine, pools within limits, he grumbled. This is the 4th bogus call from that HOA lady this month. My ears perked up. 4th? Hank nodded, wiping sweat from his brow. Yeah, she's got a vendetta list. Noise from a bird feeder last week? Can you believe it? That revelation hit like caffeine. Vivian wasn't just after me. She was a serial abuser, using her position to bully anyone who didn't bow. I thanked Hank, then called my ex's lawyer friend for advice. Document, he said, and build allies. I started quietly reaching out to neighbors who'd felt Vivian's wrath. There was Lisa, fined for unauthorized holiday lights. Mike, harassed over his vintage car in the driveway, and old Mr. Patel, accused of exotic gardening that supposedly lowered curb appeal. We met at a coffee shop, swapping stories that mixed outrage with ironic chuckles. She once cited me for my mailbox being 2 inches too high, Mike snorted. Said it disrupted the visual flow. We formed a loose group, the Willow Creek Watch, vowing to expose her. Meanwhile, Vivian doubled down, posting online about resisting disruptive elements with martyr vibes. For the children, she'd sign off, as if my veggie patch was a gateway drug to anarchy. The real fireworks started when I hosted a small backyard barbecue for the watch group. Just burgers, beers, and strategy talk under string lights. The scent of grilled meat wafted through the evening air, mingling with cicada songs. We were mid-laugh when car doors slammed. 3 families Vivian had rallied stormed my fence, picnic baskets in tow. Vivian said this yard's for community events. One dad barked, kids already eyeing my pool. I stepped forward, calm as a monk. Folks, this is private property. Vivian's mistaken. The lead mom, all highlights and attitude, sneered. We've used spots like this for years. Don't be that guy. Years. I pressed, phone recording discreetly. How many? Stammers followed. Well, once last summer. Turns out Vivian's tradition was a flat-out lie, invented to justify her land grab. They left grumbling, but within hours, social media erupted. Photos of sad kids denied fun by selfish newcomer, complete with teary emojis. Vivian's post. When one person's ego trumps community harmony. I fired back privately with evidence, but publicly? Silence. Let her dig her hole. Her next move was pure comedy gold, if it weren't so infuriating. She filed a complaint claiming my barbecue was an illegal commercial venue, as if I was running a pop-up restaurant. The inspector laughed it off, but whispered, she's filed 6 fakes this year. County's noticing. I installed discreet cameras around my yard, capturing Vivian's midnight recon. Her sneaking over, measuring my fence with a tape measure under moonlight, muttering about encroachments. The footage was hilarious. Her tripping over a garden gnome, cursing under her breath. But the dark twist came when cams caught her clipping my fence wire one night, creating a path for her followers. This'll show him, she hissed to an accomplice, voice clear on audio. Trespassing upgraded to vandalism. I compiled the clips, heart pounding with that mix of anger and glee. Time to counterpunch. Week 4 brought bureaucratic blitzkrieg. Vivian bombarded county offices with complaints. Noise pollution from my wind chimes, environmental hazards from my compost bin, even suspicious activity implying I was dealing drugs. tying back to those divorce rumors she'd amplified. Each report wasted taxpayer dollars, but each dismissal fueled my file. Hank called. She's at 8 bogus ones now. Supervisors investigating harassment. I smelled blood. Meanwhile, our watch group grew, uncovering Vivian's real motive. Her hubby Greg was cooking tax assessments, undervaluing allies' properties while inflating foes to fund HOA slush funds. Proof? Emails leaked from a disgruntled board member. Vivian's facade cracked online. Defensive posts ranting about ingrates undermining order. Her dialogue in group chats? Priceless hypocrisy. We must enforce rules fairly, she'd type, while privately emailing Greg. Bump Rivera's taxes. Teach him respect. The turning point hit like a storm. I leaked the vandalism footage anonymously to the local paper, sparking a story. HOA Prez caught on cam. Property sabotage? Vivian went nuclear, calling an emergency meeting at the community center. A stuffy room smelling of cheap coffee and desperation. 60 residents crammed in, her at the podium like a wannabe dictator. These attacks are from radicals threatening our way of life, she thundered, voice quivering for effect. But our mole live-streamed it. Vivian admitting, Greg can handle the paperwork, delay their permits, audit their taxes. We control this town. Boom, conspiracy on tape. Laughter bubbled in my chest as I watched. Her moral high ground was quicksand. Escalation peaked when she recruited teens for surveillance patrols, arming kids with phones to spy on troublemakers. One night, Cams nabbed a 16-year-old slashing my pool liner, claiming Vivian said it's for safety. Child endangerment? Check. Then came her meltdown at the town fair, ambushing the mayor amid cotton candy scents, screeching, "You're harboring terrorists. Arrest them." The mayor's cool reply, "Ma'am, rights aren't suggestions." Phones captured her unraveling, face twisted in ridiculous fury, clipboard waving like a mad conductor. Viral gold. Federal agents raided Greg's office days later, seizing docs on years of fraud affecting dozens. Arrests followed. Greg for racketeering, Vivian for conspiracy and civil rights abuses. The commission meeting was chaos, 400 packed in, air thick with tension. Vivian's defense? Gaslighting galore. I'm the victim here, but evidence played, her own words damning her. Handcuffs clicked as she wailed, "You can't. I'm essential." Sheriff, essential to prison, maybe? Cheers erupted. Her empire crumbled. 6 months on, Vivian got 10 years, Greg 7, HOA dissolved, assets repaid. Property values soared sans tyranny. I turned my yard into a community garden, voluntary, no clipboards. Grief from my past, transformed into triumph. We exposed corruption statewide, reforming systems with audits and oversight. Jessica's doc clipboard coup went national. But tell me, in a world of overreaching rules, is the real criminal the rule breaker or the rule maker who twists them for power? Yes or no? Drop your take below.